I'm emphasizing this is because the common problem with the people in the diaspora is they send their money back home and return to heartbreaks. Because hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Business Hub UG with Rhoda Basamera, here to share this knowledge. Now that we have talked about the business opportunities to invest in while in the diaspora, if you missed it, please refer to the video above. The link, it's linked up here. It's among those that are already uploaded. You could go on and look for it. Now that you have made the money coming back home, the money has to come back home. So because we learn, we teach, so that you make the money. Where you've gone, the diaspora is not east, west, home is best. So it's just the money back, bring the money home. So deciding where to invest when returning home from the diaspora actually is where the guest is. That's where very many of us find the difficulty. But that will definitely depend on the different factors for you to make that choice of where do I invest now that I have the money, is dependent on many factors, including your financial goals. What exactly do you want? How risk tolerant are you? How much risk can you take? Because we'll give you the very many ideas, but your risk appetite also matters. The higher the risk, the higher the return. The less the risk, the less the return on investment. So your risk appetite and tolerance is something to also consider. And then the economic conditions of your home country are very key. And now going with Uganda as a country where I'm best, for me, my top 10 recommendations for you to invest in are: one is real estate. I will always recommend real estate because I am a real estate investor. Roland Ventures Limited as the CEO. We buy and sell land, plots. If you haven't, there's a real estate video up there. The contents are in there. Watch it. You want to invest in real estate, we are, of course, your go-to people. And then the reason why it is real estate for me usually is because it's a solid investment. The risks are less. All you need to make sure is you do your due diligence to make sure that at that point, the first point, you're really paying for something secure. Because if you are duped, it's a big loss at once. So you have to invest in the legal services. Your lawyers make sure that you invest in the surveying services, that they make sure you do the search for the Land Administry of Lands, and then get a report to ascertain ownership. Make sure that at least you have ticked several boxes, because once that is done, then you will eat big. Yeah, so for me, that is why I recommend it. Refer to the real estate video above to know actually now the real estate investment opportunities in Uganda, to be particular. If you're in a different country, you can research about how it is doing in your country. My number 2 is let's be entrepreneurs. Now, if you have the because this is not something that is common, I have to acknowledge that not everyone has that entrepreneurial spirit. I wouldn't take it for granted and think it's common. But if you have that spirit, can we consider investing in a business, actually? Identify sectors with growth potential and explore opportunities for innovation. The beauty with this is you're returning from the diaspora to your home country, means now you will be fully available to do supervision for your properties. Unlike unlike maybe the one we talked about first of real estate, where you can invest even when you're not here. With entrepreneurship, if you are going to be here, disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurship is very good, innovation is very good, but also consider your presence in a place. If you're returning fully in the country, well and good. But if you're considering investing while still in the diaspora, you need to think carefully, because most of these businesses, like the enterprises, most times rely on your presence. They rely on you as a person. This is how very many of us have actually lost money, because we invest in businesses that require presence and we are not present. The same thing that I advise that in the real estate, that if you are going to invest, I would recommend that you save up that money. When you return, then save up for a particular period, and then plan for your return. So when you return, come and identify the properties you want. Buy them. Either buy them through your bank, and you can have, if you want bigger properties where you can keep paying, then get a mortgage. Make sure at least you've bought the properties when you're around, you've inspected your conversant. I don't know why I'm emphasizing this, is because the common problem with the people in the diaspora is they send their money back home and return to heartbreaks, because not everyone will be as faithful as you can be to yourself. And some of them look at you as a business opportunity. So save up money and then come and invest and buy these properties. So in the time when you've not yet bought properties, then invest in my third my third best idea that I am giving now, which is the government securities, and bonds. Government bonds can actually provide you with a relatively stable and secure investment options. Now, looking at Uganda in particular, you have those that are long term, you have those that are short term. The short term, the treasury bills, of course, they are risk-free financial instruments that regulated and issued to the public by the government of Uganda through the Bank of Uganda itself. Now, the investment period for this short term is usually 3 months. That's 91 days. Then you have 6 months, and then you have 1 year. That's why we call them short term. And you have them returning between 9 to 14%, depending on how the government has invested this money and how the markets where they invested the money and is performing. So it will range between 9% to 14%. If you don't want your money quickly, you have targeted yourself that you will need this money when you return to actually invest. Maybe after 5 years, I'm going to work, I'll keep buying and investing till these 5 years. You can get and fix it. You can go now for the treasury bonds. The treasury bonds have a longer period. You have 2 years bonds, you have 3 years bonds, you have 5 years, you have 10, and you have 15 years. And these ones are high returning than the short ones. They have between 14 to 17% return on investment. So you could consider investing in those bonds. Going by the return, yes, the 14, 17, just to remind us that interest income earned from the government bonds is taxed. Now, it is taxed currently at 15% for non-residents and 20% actually for residents. Why am I encouraging this? For me, one is the safety of your savings. These are considered to have little or practically actually no risk attached to them. They are risk-free investment, and you know what? You know why? Because you're guaranteed a certain rate of return at the end of it all. They are government secured. The returns are predictable over time. So unlike other turbulent investments, treasury bills and bonds are known to remain relatively stable and predictable, and certainty and payment relatively stable. Thirdly is because they are good for long-term savings, like for education and retirement plan. You're in the diaspora working, but you will need to return home after all these years. So you're planning ahead. If you retire, what will you retire to? So they are good for long-term planning other than quick money that is going to come out. And they'll give you very good returns at the end of it all. And then there is no value loss. You know why? Because the government itself has backed your principal investment. So you're protected by the government, and your interest payment is also protected. So you are better off than going into things where you're going to do, let me go out and start farming. But I'm staying in the UK and in the US, but I am farming on farm. I can tell you those goats you will not find, the cows you will not find, that matoke you will not find. You will just find if you're lucky, you'll find a forest or a bush. not to predict, but going by what commonly happens. And the beauty also for me finally is because it's diversifying. So as you do these other investments, this can be considered as another investment opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, back to our fourth business idea. One for me, it is cross-cultural consulting. You know, we have a lot of cultural shocks that come with moving in the diaspora. So you can actually offer consultant services while you're back home. You're here, you're back in your country, your brothers and sisters, your relatives, the people around you want to move to different countries. So the country that you've been in, start a consultancy firm that helps business navigate the challenges that comes with that. You provide the insights, you give the strategies for them to successfully actually integrate in the diaspora market that they may want to go, because you've been there, so you want to share your experience of how they can do better. Fifth is you can do the foreign exchange, which is Forex or cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is very much rewarding, but very, very, very risky. So ladies and gentlemen, be conscious with the speculative investments, because that is one of them. While they offer potentially very high returns, they can also offer very high risks. So you can easily make a lot of money out of them, or you can actually easily lose a lot of money. So be sure that you have your maths done well. Be sure that you've done your research, your consultants, and you've learned about them, because that's an investment opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're still with us. The next five. Now, next five that I'm giving are businesses that you can actually do both while you're still in the diaspora, even while you return home. So you can do them in both places, so which is a double plus for me. One is the remittance and financial services. Start a business that facilitates international money transfer, that should be able to offer competitive rates that are different from those that are already existing, and convenient services really for the diaspora community, because that's what most of them pay for. They're fast, they can be reliable, they are safe, they comply with the government regulations, and they are convenient. Most people work and want to send money home. So find a way to help people transit and send their money. The seventh for me is the travel agency for the diaspora tours. People want to return home. You have returned. There are those who just come for a holiday. So you're back in your country. Say you're in Uganda. Create a service where you're on ground, so you can book for them accommodation. You can book for them transport facilities. You can do for them itineraries. Because the beauty is now you have built networks. I'm assuming you've built networks in the diaspora where you are. And then you also have roots in your country, say Uganda. And then you're able to integrate the two. So be able to do for them tours, organize for them, and then make a killing out of it. Because most times, I can honestly tell you, for the times that I've seen what we call the people that return, what we call here in Uganda, basama, is by the time someone comes, all they need is to relax and blast. So usually they come, much as they do the investment, they always come to offload what has been on them for the years. So that would be a very good business venture. Eighth is digital media platform. Launch a digital media platform where you can produce content that is related to the diaspora community. Look out for the news, talk about the entertainment, talk about the lifestyle, all that content. They need it. And last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, you could offer international student services. Assist international students from your home country in adopting with the new environment. Now, this you can do by connecting them to services for accommodation, cultural orientation. You know, we are always afraid. The parents are here, the children, they don't know what to expect, they don't know where to start from, and yet you build networks while you're in the diaspora. So you can do that secure transit for them as a business way, as a way of doing business. Ladies and gentlemen, those are my top 10 recommendations on where you can invest your money when you return back home. My advice is diversity of investment across different asset classes to spread the risk is very important. You've spent a lot of years making that money. You don't want to lose it in just one business venture. A well-balanced portfolio may include a mix of the stock, the bonds, the real estate, and other investments as shared above. It's critical, very critical, that you conduct your research and possibly consult with the professionals that are already on ground, that are rooted in the country in which you are going to invest in. I hope this has added value to you. You can leave your comments in the comments section, the different businesses that you recommend, others you have returned from the diaspora in your different country, and you're investing and you're making money, and that venture we've not talked about it. Please share in the comments section so that we can all learn from one another. Please remember to subscribe and share this video with the rest of the people so that let's help one another. Ladies and gentlemen, till next time, bye-bye.